Next up for Brawloween is one of my favorite creature types in all of Magic, the zombie. But instead of a mono black variation, we're going with a blue black variation, this time led by Grimgrin Corpseborn. You guys have no idea how many times I had to re-record that opening because I could not get blue black out of my mouth right. This is my Munching Brains deck led by Grimgrin Corpseborn, as I just mentioned. This was introduced as one of the Multiverse Legends in the March of the Machines set, so it gave us a good opportunity to include it here as the front face of the deck. If you don't know what Grimgrin is, he's a 5/5 zombie warrior for 5 that enters tapped and does not untap, but you can sacrifice another creature to untap it and put a counter on it. And when it attacks, destroy a target creature the defending player controls and put a +1/+1 counter on Grimgrin. So while that's a lot of text on a box, it's really good. It basically says sacrifice a creature to untap it and destroy a creature when you attack and put another counter on it. And then that's basically the gist of the card. I'm not going to go through the entire deck because a lot of this stuff was in my mono black version of zombies last year that was led by Gold Collar Gissa. But instead, I'm going to go over cards that were introduced just recently here in the newer sets, including the Shadows over Innistrad set, which makes up a big bulk of the cards I got added into the deck. So to start with, we have Graph Harvest for black, an enchantment that gives all your zombies menace, which really messes with combat math. And you can exile a creature from your graveyard to create a zombie, but not oftentimes you're going to do that because you kind of want to get some of your stuff back out of the yard or leave them into the yard for other effects on the zombies. We also have Relentless Dead that came from the Shadows set. Menace 2/2. When it dies, you can pay a black to bring it back to your hand. And it also has a trigger that when it dies, you can pay X to return a target zombie from the graveyard, where X is the mana cost of the creature you're targeting. So that's a really good way to get some of your zombies back. Because remember, I said we want to leave some of that stuff in the yard. We don't want to exile it to make zombies on the Graph Harvest. So you can use stuff like Relentless Dead to bring them back. We also have Liliana, the Last Hope. This card is so freaking good. If you can get this to stick and get it to the ultimate, you're going to win the game because the ultimate refills the board really, really fast. And as evidenced in some of the games I'm playing here, and I'm going to show you, you're going to get back your stuff so fast it's not even funny. Then we have Diregraph Captain also added to the set. This was a one of the add-ins they did. It didn't come in the Shadows block. It was actually from the original Innistrad, but they included it. Death Touch 2/2. Other zombies get +1/+1, and whenever another zombie you control dies, you get to make them lose a life as well. So that's a good include. We have Invasion of Innistrad coming from March of the Machine, one of the battles. It flashes in and gives a target creature -13, -13, which is great for destroying indestructible creatures or things that are just way too big to bust on through. And then the enchantment side, if you get to flip it over, gives you 2 zombie token creatures, which is the big thing. And then you can pay 3 to exile a card from a graveyard that if it was a creature, you get to basically turn it into a zombie on your side of the board. Never got to use that part of it. It was mostly just to kill and get those tokens. We also have Grave Titan, which was actually in one of the anthologies that was just a few months back. Was not in the game last year. Not a zombie, should be, but it creates zombies when it comes in and when it attacks. So, and it has Death Touch. So it's just a great big body to create more zombies for us. And then the last card is Noose Graph Mob from the Shadow set. This may not look like much. It's a 6-drop. It's a 5/5 base because it comes in with 5 counters on it. And whenever a player casts a spell, you remove a counter from it. When you do, you create a 2/2 zombie. But that is wherein lies the beauty of this card, because you're basically doubling the power of what you're dropping. You're paying 6 for 5 power, but then it becomes 10 power as long as people are slinging spells around. You just don't want to have it removed. But as long as spells are going, and it includes your own spells as well, then you get to get more and more zombie tokens off of this. So that's the deck in a nutshell. It's basically play a bunch of zombies and let the dead overwhelm our opponents. So let's get into the gameplay, and I'll talk more about it after. It's Hylda. All right. It's the Tapping Witch versus the Big Fat Zomboy. Let's see what we got going on here. I kind of like this. Dread Wanderer on 1's D's. Then this gets better later game. It just depends on how the deck plays out. Like, I really like the Colossus right after I do a Invasion of Amonkhet, because if there's enough stuff that goes in the yard, then the Diregraph is actually pretty good. nothing to play right now, but they have something in their hand because the game just kind of hung up ever so slightly. I don't know if they have a Swords to Plowshares or, oh no, it's Faithful Memory. Okay. That's the nice part about it, is most of my zombies actually make pretty poor targets outside of Grimgrin himself for removal. It's like, okay, you get to use your single target removal on some pretty throwaway stuff for the most part. Now we just have to hope we get that land drop. Because ideally they go for like a mana rock or something and I drop Liliana the Last Hope, or they play like some little minor creature that I can just, zap. Wrong color of land. Not the one I want. Yeah, we're just gonna get rid of that. And then at least this way I can see what's coming. Okay, the Gem Palm can go in the graveyard because I can get that back later. And on top of that, it gives me something in the graveyard for the Diregraph Colossus to work off of. But the land we desperately need. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Kinjali Sunwing. Alright, so they likely have something. I'm going to go ahead and just attack real quick to kind of give a removal check. Okay, it's probably just the Faithful Mending. Let's go with Geralf, see if they counter it. Because I'd rather have the Diregraph Colossus or Liliana resolve versus Geralf Visionary Stitcher. Like, it's nice to have to give stuff flying, but it's not the be-all, end-all of the deck. And it's one of the few non-zombies in the deck, too. Because originally I was going to build this as a Scarab God deck. I actually have a Scarab God deck built. But then Grimgrin was introduced, and I'm like, oh, I have to play him. I've never played him in paper. I'm like, I have to play him here. I just don't own a copy. Well, we'll see what they got. They have something. Okay. Well, that's going to be a -2, -1 on that guy. He gets bigger, right? Yeah. So I'm going to swing. Because then it gives them no reason, or no ability, actually, to tap an untapped creature, so then it can't pump. So then it can't tap Geralf and then hit Liliana for 2.
5 minutes later.
Alright. -7. And the kill part there is then she dies and I get the cards anyways, so that's fun. What to do? I think what to do is I'm going to swing at Teferi. Whoop, nope, wrong button. That button. Alright. What's the hang up? That's fine. Let's go with Vizier the Scorpion, Jadar, and I think I'm going to end. So now we're going to get the trigger off of the Last Hope Emblem, so now we have a loaded board. I wanted to try to get as many little zombies out as we could. We have 2 in the yard for the Diregraph, but now I have plenty of sacrifice fodder for Dreadhorde General. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I have lethal on board. Okay, so nuke the board, that's fine. Diregraph can be pretty good size. I would like a land. That's what I really want. Because then I could cast Grimgrin and Diagraph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm one short. Irritating. All right. So let's do Diagraph and Endling. Hey, didn't you just wipe my board? I love that emblem. It's so fun. Because it's what? 2+. So it's actually a little bit better than Endless Ranks of the Dead, because that one's only 1 plus the number. Or actually, I don't think you get a 1 plus. I think it's just equal to the number, or half of the number of zombies you control, and you get those. So it's actually a little bit better. All right. Oh, Kindred Discovery. I can load my hand up. All right, let's see if they have a counter for this. Because I prefer the Death Baron to resolve. Because the Death Touch is just that much better. Let's try this one. If there's a counter spell in the future, there it is. All right, so good thing I didn't do Grimgrin, because I could have just nuked that with 1 hit. All right, so yeah. I think we're just going face. I'm not going to pump the Endling right now, because it wouldn't have been lethal anyways, and I want to have the ability to give it Undying if they have another board wipe in hand. I'm coming for you, Teferi. Oh, they digging hard. Now the thing that's funny is if they wipe the board, it does not matter. Because the Endling comes back with the counter, and then I can pump and swing and kill them. So they were hosed either direction. Wow. All right, back-to-back Atraxa decks. Let's see if their deck is built any differently than the other one. My thought process is probably not. It's probably another poison deck.
It wasn't.
Because now we're going to wait. Because if they don't do something to Liliana right now, it doesn't matter. We'll get the emblem, and it's going to be hilarious. Okay. Let the hilarity commence. Let's see here. I could do this for 4 and get rid of Retadrabic. But then I would also lose my Headless Rider, but that probably doesn't matter. Yeah, I think I like that option better. I probably should have sacked my guy and untapped Grimgrin, but like whatever. There we go. That swings the pendulum back to me a little bit. Because I don't care if Atraxa comes down now, because Grimgrin's just going to be like munch, munch, munch. Alright. Let's just go ahead and chew up one of these. Get them. It's just so fun. When Grimgrin can actually get going, it's just like, wow. More, I say. Give me more zombies. The best part is they can't wipe the board, because if they do, the Midhook Massacre will kill them. This is the catch-22 they get themselves caught in with Meat Hook. Yeah, it's just like, nope, not gonna happen. Oh, hell yes, I had fun. Narset, Enlightened, Exile. Let's go. So we got... It's okay. I don't like that hand. I might have shot myself in the foot. We'll see. With the way the shuffler acts, that might have screwed me. I mean, hey, if you want to kill that, go ahead. I'll take a treasure. Okay, we did draw the third land. Okay. I feel a little better. But not spectacular. Oh, got that. We're gonna name black because, yeah, zombies, all that good fun stuff. So we should be able to get Grimgrin down. I mean, okay, I'll take a treasure. Or we could do gold colored Gisa. There's a few things we can try. You know, just because I drew Garalf, we'll do the Gisa. It doesn't do anything for at least another turn because we have to get another creature down to sacrifice to her ability. But now the nice part is they don't have a bunch of other creatures. That's annoying though. So ridiculous. And the bad part about Narset is you really do not want to use a bunch of single target removal because otherwise she's just going to pull it out of your yard and fling it at your own creatures. All right. That's an idea. Because we could do that along with Geralf. I'm just gonna replay Go Color Gisa though. Because they could have washout. Grimgrin was a thought, but a washout would just be like backbreaking at this point. At the beginning of your upkeep. Okay. And then once a turn they can play 0 for a 0 drop. We're gonna have to take the hit, unfortunately. Excuse me. Alright. Let's see if we can make something happen out of this. So we're going to play the Endling with the idea that we can A, pump it, and B, give it Undying and sacrifice it to, or actually give it Undying and then sacrifice it to Gisa. That's the amount of mana that I have. So they give me 4 zombies and it would come back and I can use it as a blocker. Now, if they try to fry one of them before that, I'm going to have to do the trick before combat, and that's going to actually mess things up. But... all right. Oop, cancel. Pass to blockers. Here. Gonna have to make them do some fun. All right, resolve. Resolve that. Resolve that. And that's fine. I'm going to give this Undying. And then I'm going to sacrifice the Endling to get 4 zombie tokens. and then the endling comes back. So is that 5 plus 12? That's 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. If I get a Lord card, I could kill them. Ooh. Now that's pretty good. Dun, 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 dun. So for now, everybody but Gissa is going to go for face. And then we're going to... Can't do that and do the sacrifice. I can do this for now. I'm just trying to figure out what I can and can't do. So if I can pump, activate. We're going to pass the turn. Because the idea here is going to be I can pump the endling twice, sacrifice it to Gissa, and get 7 zombie tokens. Because going wide and also having blockers here is ideal. But I do have to beware of the Teamer Battle Rage. Because if they hit it with Teamer Battle Rage, it gains double strike plus all that prowess stuff that deck can pull off, and that would be bad. They're in the tank, trying to figure out what to do. Holding back blockers isn't going to save them. All right. So they're going to make it so they can cast something off the top of their deck. If you even touch her, I'm just going to go for it and just make a bunch of zombies. If you haven't seen my mono black zombie deck from last Brawloween, Gissa is one of my favorite zombie cards because you just make a ton of zombies with her. Elrond, Master of Healing. All right, so it's going to be a +1/+1 counter elf deck, probably. We'll keep this one. We'll see how elves versus zombies goes. Because ideally the zombies come out on top. We'll see. So next turn is probably going to be Heraldic Banner Bone Shards. We'll name black. And then we'll Bone Shards, discarding the Curator's Ward. I'm not as concerned about removal spells in blue-green than I am against black-red. Probably doing Necro Duality too this coming turn. They keep looking at my Heraldic Banner though, so it's like, do they have an enchantment removal? Or a disenchant effect, I should say. Oh no, it's just Heuristic Study. Wonderful. Alright. We'll go with the Necro Duality. Draw your card. Keep forgetting that one's in the game now. I don't play blue all that often. It just doesn't sing to me. Ironic since there's blue in this deck, but I don't have a bunch of card draw and extra stuff like that. It's mostly just zombie support. Alright, there's that. Let's do Lord of the Accursed. We'll get... Yeah, I'll pay for that, thanks. So we'll get a pair of those going. So, like, if they were to play their commander, we could do Invasion of Innistrad and then smack the invasion and get the tokens off of that. That's a good target for it, too. I have no problem with killing that. Yep. Paying. Kill it. Kill it with fire. Oh, they're going to let me have it. They want the card, that's why. They can't pay for it. But that's fine. I have fun. And I have targets to exile from the graveyard to make more zombies. What's awesome is then I can also just give them menace and really mess the blocking assignments up. Alright, so let's make some dupes. Resolve. 1, 2, 3, 4. Decline because I want to play Grimgrin. And keep them from drawing off of that. We'll keep the real one. And we'll send those two in to say hello. Keep the elf count down so that they can't grow big and annoying. It also messes with their blocking assignments because if they only play like 1 or 2 things that can block, Grimgrin can break the parity up when I attack. I'm going to sacrifice one of the tokens in order to untap Grimgrin and then just go for face. Unless they have a way to bounce my stuff or something. Okay, there's one. So I do have to remember that Cyclonic Rift is now available in the format. So they have blockers for 2 if I do this, but I only have to activate one of the Lords of the Accursed. So the idea here is to, when you cast a spell, enters with a stun counter. Okay, so the next thing I cast comes into play with a stun counter on it. Okay. I had to read that because I haven't seen that card. Yeah, it's like whatever you put the counters on, I'm probably going to... Okay. Elrond is probably the thing that Grimgrin's going to eat. But ideally, what I was trying to explain before they started goofing around is I'm going to tap one of the Lords of the Accursed and then sacrifice it to Grimgrin. So then I get to keep the extra attacker as well. Oh, baby. Okay. That changes things, like, heavily. All right. So, decline, because I need the mana to activate the Lord of the Accursed. All right, so we're gonna +1. We're gonna kill the 1/1. We're gonna activate the Lord of the Accursed. We're gonna activate Grimgrin, sacrificing the Lord of the Accursed to untap it. Swing, kill Elrond. I just want to see, as I was explaining this, view battlefield. Kill Elrond. That leaves these 2 to block Grimgrin. And then it's 4, 8, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19 damage gets through. They'd be at 1 life, and their board would be completely wiped out. That's a little harsh. Obzedat Ghost Council. All right. I have yet to see this commander, so I don't know how the hell they got it built on here. Ugh. I'm gonna try it because I have a low end, but I need to draw lands, or this is a big mistake. So we'll give this a stab. They're looking at Grimgrin because I can see him lit up. All right, that makes things a little easier. So ideally we draw, if they drop a creature, okay, they just drop Bitter Blossom. We're okay. Did not get a land though. That's a real pain. All right, so we'll get a new one. I'll keep Lazotep plating up in case they try to kill Jadar. Okay, it's just a replicating ring right now. All right, there's that. Doing that for one isn't the right play yet. Let's go ahead and do the dinosaur. Send the zombie in. That way we get a fresh zombie. We get rid of the Bitter Blossom token. Because we got to keep that under control. Because if they get a bunch of stuff like that, I'm in trouble. Okay, that needs to die. So that's a good reason to keep Dark Salvation handy. All right, and they just used up their white mana, so they have no way of protecting Daxos unless they have a... I'm going to drop the plating. Unless they have a way to... my brain is just locking up right now. Bring it back with one of the black reanimation on death spells. So, for now... Actually, I would like to wait one more. I think we're just going to do Invasion of Innistrad and kill Daxos. And then send that to face? Or do I go after the... No, I go face. Because they might have just let that stuff hit the invasion, and I'd rather kill the creatures. So if we draw a land, I can do Dark Salvation for 2. And then I could kill under its owner's control. You can have war next up. Keep it gains haste. Okay, he's gonna stay out of play. I see. Alright, Newscraft Mob's gonna go. If I do Dark Salvation, I can hit them for what, 10? Yeah, let's do it. Me, you. Alright, so... Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this, and then I'm going to hit them. So I can get the extra zombie tokens off of that. Now, that might be a bad idea. I might get board wiped for this. But the idea is that I have all this board presence, and then I can just drop the Lord of the Accursed, giving me an additional amount of damage to punch across, and then they would just roll over at that point. Because we got, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It'd be 15 damage being able to come through. It's fine. It served its purpose. I just wanted the tokens off of it. I don't care about the other. All right. Oh, I forgot about that part, but that's okay. We have Blade Stitch Scab. Similar purpose. So let's just go for it. Okay, there was no hang up there, so everybody except for Jadar in the pool. Forgot about the discard part, but that's okay. It's a pity I don't have an aristocrat's pinger effect going on, but they have their own, so they have to board wipe here or they will die. They have no choice. That's not gonna do it. I mean, I'm gonna take the hit. I want my stuff. Yeah, that was all she wrote. Send it all. I don't good game right away because I never know. They might have a sneak thing going on. That worked out very nicely. Yes, I had fun. Catti-brie of Mithril Hall. Ugh. I've seen that commander probably 3 different times now in the last week, and every time it's the same deal, and it is messed up. So I'm going to keep this because I have Callous Dismissal and Pylon. So I have ways of dealing with them in the grand scheme. So I'm probably just going to bounce Skrelv at this point. He's an artifact, so go for the throat can't do anything to it. So it's to slow them down. I would rather just get Skrelv down or have them have to replace Skrelv at this point. All right, so what to do? I think Jadar, because then we get the I'm gonna go ahead and attack. I could have left that back because then I could have convoked the pylon right away. But with Skrelv being untapped, it doesn't matter. I have to be able to get rid of basically both of them at the same time. All right, so they can pay life to do that. So that doesn't do me much good. And she's got first strike, right? Yes, she does. All right. So pylon, we're gonna do on Skrelv. We'll tap Jadar and the thing, and then I'll auto pay the rest. Kill Skrelv. And as they go to do that, I'll go for the throat Catti-brie. Yeah, she can go too. Bye-bye. So you got to pay 2 life for nothing. Have a nice day. I like both cards, but view, I have 3. We'll leave it like that. I'm not gonna dump off that stuff. Because I have Stitcher, Growlf Stitcher, Visionary Stitcher in my hand, I can play the Rotting Regisaur, and as long as they don't get rid of it, it's going to fly over and smack. Because now they got to spend time messing around with Catti-brie and getting her back online. Alright, so we're not swinging because she's got first strike, so it does absolutely nothing at this point. So my hope is they get a little greedy, start trying to do their stack up stuff on her, and then okay, they didn't do it. I was hoping they would. So back for seconds is gonna go. We're gonna reload our hand because of the discard on the Rotting Regisaur. All right, cool. And Roddy can come flying in. Okay. I was thinking they might have had a Settle the Wreckage or a Wandering Emperor handy, but, you know, whatever. 10, 11. I got 11 damage on the board right now. We'll take the hit. Oh, it's got Vigilance too? What the hell? Oh, God, that gives it Vig. All right, well, that's fine. So, what do I do here? Let's do Vizier of the Scorpion. See what they may or may not have in terms of removal spells. And then let's drop Geralf. All right, so everybody but Jadar. Because this all flies. Even if they were, you know, at this point, like, at best. Okay, so now it's indestructible, but they can't kill the Regisaur. They're still taking 4 damage because of the reach. Alright. So at this point, I don't know if I do Grimgrin or pray that I get one of my, like, negative power things like Invasion of Innistrad or something of that nature to kill the Catti-brie. Or maybe the, what is it? Dark Salvation. That card. Oh, I can't even block that, can I? Non-basic landwalk. Okay. That's a thing. So yeah, we're going to drop the Nykthos. We'll drop Grimgrin, because what else can we do at this point? Swinging into this is just a bad idea. Because then, what is this? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that gets through. If I swing all out except for Geralf. Well. God damn that card. All right, hang on. So we're going to do this. We're going to sacrifice this. I'm going to activate Geralf, and I'm going to sacrifice Grimgrin. And I'll put it back to command zone. I hate Patriar's Humiliation. That card is absolute bullshit. It is just as bad. You can argue with me all you want. It is just as bad. See, it is just as bad as the spells that prevent you from playing your commander from outside of the game. Actually, it's probably worse, because at least in the terms of those, if I get rid of that creature, I can play the commander. This, it gets hit, it's done. It's done for the rest of the game. So what did you guys think? I'm sorry I got a little tilted on that last game in the video. I absolutely hate Patriar's Humiliation. I think it is a very unfair card in the Historic Brawl format. If they want to introduce that stuff to Historic, you know, or Alchemy, fine. Don't care. But to me, it is a very restrictive card and locks commanders out of the game and makes it a whole lot of not fun for very little mana to keep us from getting to do what we want to do with the deck. But with that said, I did have fun playing the deck. I do enjoy playing zombie decks. It's fun for the Halloween season here for me on the channel, and I get to mess around even if sometimes I get a little tilted. With that said, what would you add to the deck? What would you take away? Do you think I'm overreacting about the Patriarch's Humiliation? You know, let me know in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching, and keep your eyes peeled for the next video.